Hi guys, it's ADPC Customs here. I decided to do this quick video. It's nothing particularly special. I was working on another one about being green with your PC, and that one just was not coming out right. So I've decided to do this one instead. There's been a lot of talk just lately about problems with Amazon Prime, or well, Amazon. And not getting quality items and all sorts of other problems on Amazon in general. I bought a device on Amazon because I like to keep it does fit in with the green PC after all. I like to keep using my devices as long as possible. So every time I've got hold of a new PC to recycle into or scavenge parts from to upgrade and rebuild my rig or build something for use around the home, like I've converted a couple of old systems into set-top boxes into HT PCs, sorry. So to make it easier for hard drive transplants to erase data off of them that I don't need, to also so I can erase a bunch of old hard drives ready for use in a storage server that I'm planning on building, I decided I needed to buy a new device. For this, I needed a hard drive dock to make it a lot easier than having the side panel off my system all the time and unplugging and plugging back in hard drives. So I bought myself this from Amazon. Now it cost me about £23-24, something like that. At the time I bought it a couple of years ago, and here it is. Nothing particularly special. It's just a little hard drive dock, and it's designed so that you can take a hard drive that you've taken out of an old system, slot it in the top, and read the data off of it. Now, some people, I assume, use it for external storage. They plug in their drives and use it as an external storage hub. That's not what I've got it for. Now, it comes with a power adapter and a USB cable. I don't know if that's being picked up. No, it's not going to work on my green screen. It has a USB micro B connector at the back. Not great. And I've had a couple of problems with it. And the company doesn't want to help me, and Amazon doesn't want to help me. It may be because I was a little bit late in reporting the issues, but unfortunately I wasn't using it straight away, so it just didn't come up. So I'm gonna have a look here back on Amazon at the actual listing. Here it is. Now I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to be pronounced. Tccmebius. Now you can see this is the exact model I got, and it does have all this on the front, most of which I did not use. I don't know what the little red button is on the top, what that does. Now, as you can see, it's currently $23.99. You might think, oh, that's a decent price. It'll work with all of your different types of drive. Now, it doesn't have to be a spinning mechanical hard drive. It can be a SATA SSD. That's fine. Great. The idea is perfect. Now, as you can see, it's got your different slots on the front that you can use it for. It's got indicator LEDs. They don't work perfectly. I never used the SD card slot. Didn't see the point. Here we are. Internally. So, as you can see, let's see. Here we are. So you've got a 2.5/3.5 inch SATA input. One touch backup button, that's what it's for. It doesn't work. That doesn't work. You've got your IDE port for your different size drives. I've never used this particular one. I used this one. Now, you've got an adjustable IDE 4-pin connector, your Molex connector. Now, the problem with this Molex connector, as you can see, it's supposed to slide. Now, I had a couple of old drives. I needed to get the data off of them. I wasn't going to be reusing them. I needed to get the data off of them and then securely wipe them. I needed the data. So I thought, perfect, because as you can see from here, there are different layouts for your IDE drives, how far away your Molex connector is. This does not adjust enough in either direction. I almost broke this device getting one hard drive, one IDE drive to slot in to get some old data off of it. It just would not go. I had to force it. It eventually went in and I managed to get some of the data off and everything. The problem being with this entire device, it does not connect very well. It's not a stable connection to your computer. The problem is, I've hooked up multiple drives to this and it killed them. It killed them. They would no longer be picked up. First day I'd use it, they all got picked up. I'd start moving some of the data. It was a bit slow going. Some of the drives were quite large and there was quite a lot of data. It was working fine. I'd leave it for a while doing what it was doing. I'd come back and it had disconnected. The drive was still hooked up. The LEDs were still indicating it was there. Windows wasn't picking it up. And I'd go through all the different troubleshooting steps, unplugging, replugging, turning off, turning on, removing the drive, putting the drive back in, blah, 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 blah. Eventually it'd come back up. And slowly, over a couple of attempts at this, the drives were coming up with all sorts of errors. No end of errors. Were not being picked up by Windows, were not usable, were being corrupted, were being turned into raw storage when I'd not done anything to do with changing the storage, done nothing at all whatsoever to erase the drives yet. So after a lot of fiddling around, I eventually got rather fed up with this, as you can imagine. So I got myself some software to try and help me with this. I'll see if I can find that software, because it is actually pretty good software and I would recommend giving it a try if I can find it. Apologies for the light, I'm right in front of my screen here and I don't have key lights at the moment. I'm very new to this. Okay, so here we are. This is Disk Drill. Now it'll pick up all the drives attached to your system, including drives that are only attached through USB, or it should do. Now I had to use this to try and recover data from these drives as they were getting slowly damaged. Some of these drives are drives I've managed to recover after using this thing that ruined them. I eventually got them fixed. So I used that and managed to get the drives sorted eventually. But this device nearly killed all my drives. Granted, a lot of them were old drives, not a problem. Some of them were old drives with high capacity, but they were actually still decent drives. They were working very, very well. These were good drives, and they nearly killed them. I don't like throwing things away if I can reuse them. I'm happy to take the risk of using a drive that was in an old system of mine from a few years ago that's had some serious usage, or as we say in the UK, took some hammer, I'm happy to take that risk. It was my drive, I used it, I know what it's been used for, and I know what to put on it. I won't put anything of any value on there. I don't put my family photos on there. I wouldn't put my operating system on it, but I would use it as mass storage or a Steam library or a video library for a movie library, let's say. I don't mind doing that because I also have backups. I've used Backblaze in the past, and Backblaze is absolutely fantastic. It works for everything. Not sponsored. I have used them in the past, and they are really, really good. And I do regular backups to the cloud, backups to newer drives. Over time, I will replace drives and copy the data over onto a newer drive that is more secure and a lot newer and a lot healthier. I do keep an eye on my drive health. But this device, I cannot pronounce the name of the company. This device, you'd think, brilliant. I can get all of my old drives, get them all slotted in. I can even plug in my SD cards. I can even plug in my USB drives, and I can get them all copied, backed up, wiped, etc., and reuse them, no problem. Absolutely no, not the case at all. Killed the drives. So do you know what I did? This is what I did. I got this. Simple little device. Whoop, dropped it. Simple little device. Right there. That is all I needed. I'm done with the IDE drives. They're dead. They're pretty much dead now. And no, my current system, I'm not putting IDE drives in here. I don't like the ribbon connectors. I've been way behind the times for too long as it is. So I bought one of these. I didn't buy it, I don't think, from Amazon, but this is exactly the same as the one I've got. That's all it is. SATA power and SATA data connection on one end, USB Type A on the other end. Runs at about, I think it's USB 2.0. No, 3.0. Plenty fast enough for plugging a drive in, removing all the data, and then formatting it for later use. Now, as you can see, it's £5.79 with 1 day shipping from Amazon. Absolutely brilliant. I think I got mine from... What was it from? Oh, that's my phone. Oops. I got it from Temu. And I think I got it for about half this price. Now, I grant you... Oh, I've dropped it. I grant you this device, this cable has done everything it needs to do. I managed to get... There it goes again. Hang on a moment. There we go. This device has done everything that this device was supposed to do, barring the IDE drives. It has copied everything. I've managed to copy everything, erase the drives, they are ready to be used. It has since failed on me. Now, I don't know why it's failed, what's gone wrong, but considering the fact that I paid about £2 or £3 for it in comparison to this piece of trash, I don't mind if this dies after 2 months. This thing keeps working forever and keeps killing my drives. Which one am I going to buy? I'm going to keep buying one of those every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, whenever I need to replace it. And I'm going to be ordering a new one fairly soon because I've acquired a couple of new drives that I am not going to be putting into my case. I can't fit them in my case at the moment. and I need to get them formatted. I need to sort them out. Plus, I need something to plug drives in when I am working on other people's systems, when I need to copy their files, if I need to clone their OS, which is another video I might actually do on how to get more life out of an older laptop, speed it up a little bit by cloning your operating system onto an SSD and swapping out the spinning hard drive for an SSD, and being able to do this without having to reinstall Windows or lose any of your data. But I just thought I'd jump on and do a quick video about this, because this is absolutely brilliant. Only a little cable, very simple. You could probably build one yourself if you are so inclined, but for a few pounds, see, anything, any drive that's got a SATA connection on it, you can use it with. Absolutely brilliant. It does everything. Whereas this huge hunk of junk, which I still have to remind me never buy one of these again, I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it. Do not buy this. Do not buy it. Absolute trash. If you want a dock like this, there are better ones. Let's see. I think it giving me a recommendation. There are better ones. Any of these are liable to be better. Any of these are liable to be better if you're willing to spend the money. Tccmebius, whatever. Great. I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. I mean, this picture, yeah, you can probably see actually the problem with this. It's got two drives in it. Doesn't always like it when you've got two drives in it, especially seeing as how this is an IDE and a SATA drive at the same time. Yeah. The front drive is an IDE. This is an IDE drive, and this is a small SATA drive in at the same time. It doesn't usually like that. And you can probably see it's not holding it up straight. The drives do not sit straight. You've got these little fins that are supposed to support the drive. This one broke off. I had to repair it. They do not support the drives. They wobble like nobody's business. So that's probably another problem. The logic and software on board is absolute trash. Most of this is actually true. Obviously, you can connect your computer and exchange data. No need to buy two or more external cases. Yeah, you don't need to buy your little external enclosures to turn an internal drive into an external drive. Those are brilliant. I've used those without the actual enclosures, just pulled out the board and used them like that in the past. And I wanted something a little cleaner and something that I wasn't going to short circuit when I'm working with it by spilling something on it. So I bought that. I bought this, and it doesn't work. The card reader, I never really used it. I don't know if it worked or didn't. I think I used the USB hub once, and it wasn't very clever. Didn't do a very good job. And the one-touch backup function didn't seem to work. It says refer to the manual. I don't remember there being a manual in the box. And if there was, I don't remember finding it. It did not back anything up. It didn't work. Oh, really? Can be connected to devices such as PS4, DVD, TV, projector. Easier to play movie, music, or games on your hard drive. I can play movies, music, and games on my hard drive without this. The drive inside my system. I'm sorry, I'm not going to use it like a cassette player and have a drive that's full of music and plug that in to play my music. No one's going to do that. Not great. In fact, these are more of theirs. I wonder if any of these work any better. Somehow, it's got 4.2 stars from 3,152 ratings. Maybe I got a duff one. I don't know, but I don't recommend it. Just use the simple cable. Just use the simple cable, this simple cable. That's all you need, unless you've got an open bench that you can constantly plug in and unplug drives. Or use an enclosure and just never close it up. I've had several external drive enclosures that I've used for this purpose and just left them open. It's perfectly acceptable. Now, this comes on the heels of a lot of other problems that other people have been reporting with Amazon that you may have seen with Lewis Rossman. Lewis Rossman, I have been following Lewis Rossman for quite some time now. And I really, really, really do think that what he has to say is important. Can't find him. There we go. I am in great agreement with him at the moment with some of the things that he's been talking about. Now, I'm absolutely shocked at some of the things he's found and that people are reporting to him. It's utterly disgusting, some of the things that he's been letting us know about, that most of us, unless we are looking for it, wouldn't find out about it. Now, he's talked about Amazon a few times on his channel. He has talked about Amazon a few times. I would recommend giving his channel a follow, or at least going and having a look at a few of his videos. There are some absolutely shocking things that he has found. Now, he has covered quite a few different things on his channel. I really need to turn my phone off. Now, where are we? I can't find one specifically. Amazon, reckless bet, hazardous items unfazed by viral scare. He's also done a fair few videos recently about, or relatively recently, about products on Amazon that are not what they claim to be. Fuses in particular. Now, this is dangerous. Right, this about ratings on Amazon. I would recommend you go and have a look at Lewis Rossman's channel. He is brilliant when it comes to figuring out these problems and bringing them to our attention. I also like him because he is an advocate for right to repair. Now, if you've ever had a device that was damaged and you needed to fix it, you needed to, I don't know, put a new drive into something. Some of these modern devices, you cannot add a new drive. I've owned laptops. In fact, I own a laptop right now, just one laptop. It's a fine laptop. I got it for free. Not a sponsored thing. I don't have sponsors. I'm not big enough for that yet. But I was given it for free. The previous owner wasn't a fan of it, didn't like it. I quite like it. Soldered memory. Soldered storage. I cannot swap out the internal storage on it. Although, this panel here, drive expansion. So at least there's that. But not all laptops these days have that option. So you can't do that. There are a lot of problems, obviously, with Amazon, and not Amazon, sorry, with Apple and their repairability. And you can't get into the device to replace a product or replace a part. You can't get the part, you can't replace the part, you can't actually get into the device in the first place. It's just not good. And people want to be more responsible with their devices. They want to keep things out of landfill. Now, something I was going to mention in the other video was the fact that, you know, to be greener, there are settings in Windows you can use to be greener. There are better parts and components that you can use to be greener. You get the right power supply. That's going to save you money on your electricity. That's going to save fossil fuels being burnt. Sorry. That's also meaning that power supply, if you bought a quality power supply, that power supply will last you through 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 builds. Unless you need to up the spec because you've bought something that requires more power than the power supply can give you. Reusing old drives out of your old systems is not a stupid idea. It's a good idea. Things like that. E-waste is a big problem at the moment, and thank you Amazon and Tccmebius, or whatever they call themselves. Thanks to things like this is e-waste. This is e-waste. It doesn't work. You're paying £20 to £30 for these things, and it doesn't work. Or it ruins your hard drive, so you're throwing hard drives away that you might have been wanting to use. And then you're throwing this away. Just not good enough. Anyway, to paraphrase or to quote Lewis Rossman as he says at the end of his videos, that's it for today. I hope you learned something. I would not trust this device. I would not trust this device at all. I would not use this. I would not trust this device to be doing backups from drives, to be recovering drives. I would only trust this device if I wanted to make my drives utterly inaccessible by any other means. So that's it for this video. I know I've rambled on a little bit, but I've been Adam from ADPC Customs, and I will see you in the next one.